Okay, hey everybody, welcome back to Press B. Today I'm going to do another reaction video to Work in the Metaverse. It's basically a trailer from Meta detailing what it could be like to use a VR headset to work remotely. As far as I can remember, I think this was originally part of the Meta presentation that took place, I think, a couple months back. Meta released basically an hour-long video detailing what their vision of the metaverse is. However, I only really watched that once. I'm already starting to forget it. I thought it would be pretty cool to react to this minute and 37-second clip that they've taken from that conference and basically made it into a trailer because it fits with the last two reaction videos, one being the idea of using VR for surgical training, and the second one being the idea of using VR for education. So this idea of using a headset for remote work kind of fits in line with those two. And I figured I would just top it off with this one, since it seems to be quite consistent with the last two. Before I get into it, I don't think the present headsets on the market, in particular the Quest 2, would be very good for remote work, only because I feel that the headset is a bit too weighty. It's good for playing games. You're moving around, you don't really notice it as much, but if you're just sitting still, I feel like the Quest 2 is still just a little bit too heavy for that. However, there is a new headset around the corner called the Quest Pro. It was originally called the Project Cambria headset, and it's going to be a lot lighter. It's going to have pancake lenses, which will make it a lot less bulkier. And all in all, I think that headset will be much better for remote work. Okay, having said that, let's dive right into the trailer, shall we?
Over the last year and a half, a lot of us who work in offices have gone remote. And while I miss seeing the people I work with, I think remote work is here to stay for a lot of people. So we're going to need better tools to work together. Let's take a look at what working in the metaverse will be like. Imagine if you could be at the office without the commute. You would still have that sense of presence,
nice.
Shared physical space, those chance interactions that make your day all accessible from anywhere. Now imagine that you have your perfect work setup and you can actually do more than you could in your regular work setup. And on top of all that, you can keep wearing your favorite sweatpants.
Looks like AR.
Good. Let's get together real quick for a debrief.
This is very advanced AR glasses because they don't look any different than a regular pair of glasses.
Hi.
Hey.
So what do we think?
I think it's ready.
Great.
I'll prep it for the presentation.
All right. Good luck.
Imagine a space where you can tune out distractions and focus on the task at hand. And when you're ready to share what you've been working on, you can present it as if you're right there with the team.
So they jump from AR to VR. That'd be pretty nice.
Wait, where's Mark?
I think he's in the middle of something.
So what's immediately obvious in the trailer is the idea of working remotely, which makes sense. I mean, I can see the biggest application for VR headsets and AR headsets when it comes to work would be the ability to work remotely, to have a screen basically floating out in front of you like a hologram, not needing a monitor. You could really work from anywhere. I mean, a lot of remote workers at the moment tend to use laptops and things like that. But I find that if we could get a light form factor, this type of setup would be a lot more convenient, and you could bring it to a lot of different places and not have to lug around a laptop, a backpack, and something like that. So that'd be pretty nice. a really cool idea that isn't really new. I think a lot of people have seen this before. But the idea that you could collaborate with someone remotely and share a digital representation of what you're trying to work on. We've been seeing this type of concept the last couple of years. And it makes sense that they're trying to demonstrate this in this video. But it really is something that would revolutionize remote work, especially when it comes to projects that are quite complex or elaborate. This idea that you could just simply share something very quickly and also give them a 3D representation of what you're working on would be pretty nice. Depending upon the field you're in, I think that would definitely be something that could aid your workflow. Now, another aspect of the trailer that's pretty interesting, although I don't know exactly how you could accomplish what they're trying to demonstrate, because she's wearing an AR headset. I mean, it could be one of those, again, photorealistic avatars that we've seen in a previous video. But the telepresence, the fact that you're somewhere else, but you can have a digital representation of yourself that feels just as present as if you were there in front of the person, could help with collaborating in different jobs and things like that. Because I think one of the biggest pushes to kind of get people to come back into the office is that sense of presence, that sense of being and working with a colleague and troubleshooting and coming up with solutions. One could bridge that gap with remote workers if you could have telepresence. That's a very subtle thing to notice here, but that's the idea of not only having a 3D representation of something that you're working on, like a model, but that you could scale that model up to make it basically life size. So if, let's say, you're working on a house or you're working on a car, not only could you have a digital representation that's small scale, like we have now. You know, architects make model houses that are quite small, that could fit on a desk to try to give you or give themselves, you know, an overall view of what they're working on. But with AR and VR, you could scale it up and make it life size as if you're actually standing in the building, which could also give you a lot of perspective. And you could also then demonstrate what you're trying to build with your work colleagues. So again, not exactly something that we haven't seen displayed before, but it does make sense that they want to display it in a VR trailer or clip that has to do with work. So this is an interesting tidbit, which is also going to be touched upon later in the trailer, is that eventually VR headsets and AR headsets are going to merge into one device that is basically seamless. So you could, you know, tap the side of it and you see the world around you with digital overlays of information or digital overlays of various things that you're working on, tasks and things like that. But then you could tap it and be in a virtual space. We're not quite there yet, but we're getting there. Already on the Quest 2, it already has external cameras so that you can track your hands and also track the room so that you know, don't step out of bounds in your play space. But they're already testing using AR on the Quest 2. It's very basic. The cameras are black and white, but it's working, right? And the Cambria or the Quest Pro is going to have full color pass-through. So those cameras that are being used to track your controllers, that are being used to track the room, will be full color, which means that it can do augmented reality. So you'll be able to see the room around you in vivid color, and they can overlay different screens and different things like that right over what you're seeing. That'll be the easiest way we can accomplish this AR VR merging. A lot of applications for that. Like we were talking about, you could scale up a project and then feel like you're actually present in the building that you're working on, things like that. So interesting. I like this idea. I think it's cool. Not only could you work with a single work colleague, but as they're demonstrating here, you could have complete digital meetings in VR and with people on webcams, which they've tried to add and implement before, and it worked, but they haven't quite worked out all the details. But at least conceptually, it'd be an awesome idea. Definitely would make people feel like they're with their colleagues even though they're working remotely. I think the only challenge would be is making it pretty seamless. So, yeah. Oh, Lucas, are you trying to also be a part of this work VR reaction trailer thing? Anyway, all right, buddy. I'm trying to work here. Come on. So yeah, there we go. Complete trailer breakdown. Honestly, I think we're a little ways off. I think Project Cambria is going to definitely move us further ahead to this type of concept. However, I think there's a lot of things you're going to have to work through before this becomes something much more viable. However, once it gets there, I am curious to see how it revolutionizes work. This idea that you can work from anywhere, collaborate with anyone from anywhere, and it feel like they're being present with you presents a lot of possibilities. So I'm definitely down to see it. Definitely would like to try it. In any case, please like and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.